Mancholi, and today's episode is for anyone who wants to understand what real business leadership looks like when technology is no longer just a support function, it is the strategy. When AI moves from being a technology tool to a boardroom priority, what changes?
So when AI moves from being a tool to a boardroom priority, the biggest shift is ownership.
What should business leaders and board members today be thinking about when it comes to quantum?
So quantum computing represents a shift from incremental to exponential capability.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Charita Bajaj, and today's episode is for anyone who wants to understand what real business leadership looks like when technology is no longer just a support function, it is the strategy. Today's guest is Ms. Charita Bajaj, Assistant Manager, Data Science, reporting directly to the CEO at Matrix Marketers. Ms. Charita has built a remarkable career at the intersection of AI, deep learning, and enterprise technology, spanning over 7 years across manufacturing intelligence, sports analytics, healthcare AI, and quantum computing. She has led AI platforms that have delivered up to 30 to 40% cost savings, enhanced process efficiency by 45%, and contributed to multi-crore revenue impact across business verticals. She has worked on projects with global organizations like City Football Group and Bristol and Hove Albion, bringing the power of AI to world-class football analytics. Today, we are diving deep into her leadership journey, exploring how AI is transforming boardrooms, governance, and business strategy, and what tomorrow's leaders need to understand about the technology that is already making decisions for them. Ms. Charita, welcome. It is an absolute pleasure to have you with us today.
Hi, thank you so much for the warm introduction. It's truly a pleasure to be here. For me, the journey in AI has always been about bridging two worlds, deep technology and real business impact. Over the years, I have had the opportunity to build AI systems across industries. But what has been most meaningful in seeing how these systems influence actual decisions at leadership level. Today, AI is no longer just about models or algorithms. It is also about responsibility, governance, and shaping how organizations operate. I'm excited to share my journey and perspectives in this conversation.
All right, so what I'm waiting for? Let's start at the very beginning of this conversation because there is a huge gap today between the leaders who use AI and the leaders who truly understands it. Ms. Charita, you have been on the technical side, building models, deploying systems, leading AI strategy, but you report directly to the CEO. That's a very deliberate placement. So here's my question to you. When AI moves from being a technology tool to a boardroom priority, what changes? And what do business leaders, CEOs, board members, directors, most often misunderstood about what AI can and cannot do for their organizations?
Sure. So when AI moves from being a tool to a boardroom priority, the biggest shift is ownership. It stops being an IT initiative. It becomes a strategic governance and risk conversation. Working closely with leadership, I have seen the technologists focus on accuracy, performance, while business leaders focus on impact, risk, and accountability. The gap often lies in understanding AI is probabilistic, not deterministic. It supports decisions, but does not replace the judgment. For example, in one of the systems I built, AI just did not optimize the process. It changed how decisions were made around production planning. That's when leadership started engaging differently, asking not how accurate the model is, but what's happening if the model goes wrong. A common misconception is that AI will always be reliable once deployed. In reality, it requires continuous monitoring, governance, and human oversight. Without that, organizations expose themselves to operational and reputational risks.
Absolutely. That is such a sharp and important distinction between using AI and governing AI. And what a great start to this conversation. So, taking it forward, Ms. Charita, one of the things that stands out most in your career is that your AI work isn't theoretical, it's deployed, it's live, and it's delivering measurable outcomes. You led the development of a Gen AI powered manufacturing intelligence system at an LED production facility that reduced production downtime by 25% and improved quality assurance accuracy by 20%. You built football analytics platforms for City Football Group and Bristol that reduced player injury rates by 30% and improved recruitment efficiency by 20%. Now, these are board level numbers. So here's what I want to understand. When you are building an AI system that needs to perform at enterprise scale, first thing, how do you ensure it doesn't just work in a demo, but actually works in the real world under pressure with real consequences?
Right. So that's all about building AI that really works. The hardest part of AI is not building the model, it's making it work in the real world. In controlled environments, models perform well, but in production, you deal with noisy data, unexpected edge cases, operational constraints. In one manufacturing deployment, the model performed exceptionally during testing, but real-time data variability required us to redesign the pipeline. To ensure reliability, we built layers of explainability and human validation. Users needed to trust not just the output, but the reasoning behind it. Accountability is critical. Every AI system must answer. If something goes wrong, why did it happen? How did we fix it? That means audit trails and monitoring systems and clear ownership. Scaling these systems required integrated cloud, edge, and IoT environments. But more importantly, aligning teams. AI success depends on collaboration between business, engineering, and teams, operations. At scale, AI is not just technical system. It is an organization capability governed by leadership.
Absolutely, Ms. Charita. You are building the kind of systems that governance frameworks are now being written around. Great. So, moving ahead to my next question, you have worked across so many different industries, from manufacturing, sports analytics to healthcare AI. Each has its own operating reality, its own risk profile, and its own data environment. What does working across these different sectors teach you about the universals of AI leadership? And what do organizations most often get wrong when they try to adopt AI without the right foundation?
So, across manufacturing, sports analytics, healthcare, the fundamentals of AI remain the same: data quality, trust, explainability, governance. The biggest lesson is that technology is rarely the bottleneck. Trust is. In every industry, adoption depends on whether people believe in the system. I've seen organizations invest heavily in AI without even investing in data pipelines and governance structures. That leads to failure because AI doesn't work, but because the foundation is weak. In one case, early investment in structured data pipelines and validation mechanisms prevented downstream failures that could have been very costly. For leaders, AI readiness comes down to three questions. Is our data reliable? Can we explain the decisions? Who is accountable when it fails? AI is not just technology investment, it is a governance commitment.
I love that framing because it makes AI governance accessible to everyone in the room, not just the technologists.
Yeah, definitely.
So you are also doing something that very few professionals in the world are doing simultaneously. You are pursuing a master's in quantum computing from IIT Delhi, even while leading enterprise AI deployments. This is truly extraordinary. So let me ask you, quantum computing is still emerging, but its implication for business, cybersecurity, and AI are potentially enormous. What should business leaders and board members today be thinking about when it comes to quantum, and how far away are we from it becoming a board level conversation they cannot ignore?
So, quantum computing represents a shift from incremental to exponential capability. From the business perspective, it means solving problems that are currently impossible in areas of optimization, cryptography, and AI acceleration. During my work in quantum machine learning for cybersecurity, one of the key insights how existing encryption systems like RSA could become vulnerable. This is not a future problem, it is a present day governance concern. Organizations need to start thinking about quantum safe security now, understanding exposure, assessing risks, preparing transition strategies. At the same time, the opportunity is immense. From faster drug discovery to advanced financial modeling, what excites me the most is the convergence of quantum and AI. It has potential to redefine how we approach complex decision making problems. The leaders who will be ready are the ones who will be preparing today. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, Ms. Charita. Quantum computing and AI governance in the same breath. That's the kind of forward-thinking leadership that makes this conversation so valuable. And you are not just working in present, you are genuinely building the future.
Thank you. Yes, we are all together building the future. So for this, I have also joined Quantum Ecosystem Technology Council of India. So we do a lot of workshops, and this membership has given me immense opportunity to understand national quantum missions of the country, and also being able to understand what is happening at a global level in quantum sensing, in techniques like geo-earth sensing and satellites at the level of satellites as well in quantum communication. Yeah.
That's incredible. Genuinely, that's incredible. Uh, all right, so let's have some fun now. I welcome you to quick fire round. Short questions, quick answers, no overthinking. So, are you ready for it?
Yeah, sure, please.
Okay. First one, AI already making decisions in boardrooms, whether leaders realize it or not, yes or no?
Yes, definitely.
Next one, can a company claim to be future ready if its board doesn't understand AI governance? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Is data quality a bigger barrier to AI success than computing power? Yes or no?
I think both they go hand in hand. So no, yeah.
All right. Will quantum computing make today's cybersecurity frameworks obsolete? Yes or no?
No, they will not make cybersecurity obsolete, but yeah, they're going to help crack a lot of cybersecurity algorithms at quantum level.
Insightful. Next one, strategy, technology, or people. Which is the real driver of successful AI transformation?
Strategy. I need a strategy.
All right, so that was brilliant, fast, sharp, and absolutely on point. That's a quick fire round done. Thank you for playing along, Ms. Charita.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
moving on to the next segment, let's talk about something that is, becoming one of the most important conversations in both technology and governance, and that is the ethics and responsibility of AI. Because AI systems today are making decisions that affect people's jobs, their health, their access to services, and their safety. And the organizations deploying these systems and their boards are obviously accountable for those decisions, whether they fully understand the technology or not. So, from your experience building and deploying AI systems, what does responsible AI look like in practice? And what governance structures do organizations need to put in place to ensure AI is being used ethically and accountably?
So responsible AI in practice means a deliberate choice that is just beyond accuracy. In one instance, we prioritize model transparency over marginal performance gains because stakeholder needed trust in the system. If people don't understand AI decisions, they won't really rely on them. Interpretability is critical. Business leaders must be able to understand why the decision was made, not just the outcome. From the governance perspective, organizations need structured oversight, including audit trails, bias monitoring, clear escalation mechanisms. AI systems must be treated like any other critical business system with accountability, controls, and continuous monitoring. If I had to give one message to leaders, start treating AI as governance responsibility today, not a future concern.
Rightly said, Ms. Charita. That is genuinely one of the most important points of this entire conversation. That AI governance is now a board responsibility, not just a technology responsibility. Thank you for making that point.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's actually very important. So, I mean, how you're treating the governance and responsible AI today matters. How the future is going to be seen by next generations ahead.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up, one last thing, Ms. Charita, you are part of Directors Institute World Council of Directors. From your personal experience, what has been part of Directors Institute meant to you? And how has it shaped your perspective as a technology leader stepping into broader business and governance conversations?
So, being part of Directors Institute has a significant shift in how I view my role in society today. I initially engaged to bridge the gap between technology and governance. What I gained was a deeper understanding of how boards think in terms of risk, accountability, and long term value. One key insight was how differently decisions were framed at board level. It is not about technical feasibility, it is about impact, it is about risk exposure and sustainability. This experience has helped me translate complex AI concepts into business language that leaders can understand and they can act on this language. It has also reinforced my belief that technology leaders must understand governance and governance leaders must understand technology. Going forward, the most impactful leaders will be those who can operate in the intersection. Yeah.
That is really a meaningful reflection, and it adds a dimension to your journey that goes beyond technical mastery. You are building a leadership identity that connects technology, governance, and long-term business responsibility. That is exactly the kind of leader the boardroom needs more of.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. We are definitely moving forward in a direction, and I hope we all reach somewhere for next generations to come because they'll be using AI and they should be able to use it responsibly. Accessibility should be there, and then there should be longer term growth for everyone. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me tell you, Ms. Charita, this has been an extraordinary conversation, and I mean that genuinely. You have taken us from the fundamentals of responsible AI to the future of quantum computing. You have shown us what it looks like to build technology that is not only powerful, but accountable, not only scalable, but governed. And perhaps the most important thing you have reminded us today is this: AI is not coming for leadership. AI needs leadership. It needs people who understand both the code and the consequences, both the algorithm and the accountability, both the data and the decision it drives. And that is the kind of leader you are, Ms. Charita, and the industry is better for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that here.
And to our audience, whether you are a board member, a CEO, a founder, a student of business, or a leader trying to understand the technology that is reshaping your organization, today's message is clear. You do not need to understand every line of code, but you do need to understand your responsibility for what that code does. Govern it, question it, champion it responsibly. This has been FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Pancholi. Signing off for now. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay ahead. Thank you so much.